All right, everyone, welcome back to a new All My Cast. Joining me today is KingClassic and Cold Pizza.
Hey guys.
Hello.
We're talking about Black Panther today.
We saw it.
We
Black
did.
Panther.
We did.
Did you see it?
I hope so, or else why
Or
are you
else,
watching
yeah,
it?
you shouldn't be watching this.
Yeah,
because
as per usual, spoiler alert.
ahead. Spoilers
This is
ahead.
not a before you watch.
No, not a before you watch. This is an after you watch, after you've slept and sort of digested the film, kind of a thing. So let's just jump into it, guys. First, just broad strokes. How do we enjoy the movie?
I thought it was a good movie. I did enjoy it. I don't think it was as good as everybody is making it out to be, but I think that it was good.
I agree. I think it was really, really good. I think it was one of the better, of Marvel's. This is this hero's first movie.
Yeah.
I think it was one of the better ones, like better than Captain America and Thor for sure.
Yeah. I agree. I really enjoyed the film. And looking at it in my analytical mindset that I watch movies that I know that we're going to be doing these podcasts on, usually I can find things to kind of, nitpick about. There were very few in this film that I found.
Yeah, there weren't a lot of complaints I really had. My biggest complaint from the movie was just that I feel like it was too dark. It was I was talking with Logan after the movie. It had kind of like the original Batman kind of feels to it, where it was too hard to see some of the stuff that was going on.
I didn't have that problem.
Well, I saw what he was talking about at the beginning. One of the first fight scenes where he jumps out of the plane and they're that convoy.
Well, no,
that convoy's going through the trees.
I know what you're talking about.
It's more like you hear the fight sounds.
Well, yeah,
and don't see any action.
Well, I don't know. I didn't have that problem. It may have just been my theater because I went to Shreveport and we saw it in one of the luxury theaters. We found
IMAX?
one there. It wasn't IMAX. It was just like a regular. It was a Tinseltown.
Did they show that movie in IMAX?
I don't know, but it was a Cinemark, and we found the theater and it had the luxury loungers. So my happy ass was reclining the whole time.
I love those theaters. I've only been to one once.
We had to reserve the seats and everything, and but it was.
You don't feel like you deserve to be there.
You do not. No. There's probably that theater sat 60.
Wow.
Just that was it.
Is that a lot? How many does the theater normally hold?
The ones in the theater.
I feel like there were 60 people in Tinseltown.
I think it was around 100.
Yeah, those large theaters, they can seat 300, it's 250 to 300 around about.
It's a lot of people.
Yeah.
I don't know. 60 doesn't seem that impressive to me.
The point is it's not a lot of people.
The point is that it's less people.
Yeah, it's like sitting in first class and there's not a bunch of people around to bug you.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know. I didn't have a problem. I feel like.
So with most things involving money, it's exclusive.
I mean, it was a little more expensive to reserve the seats and everything, but
but he's Batman, so
yeah, so he can afford it.
But I guess it could have been my theater, but I didn't necessarily have that problem where it was hard to see things. But
I don't know. I mean, and it may also just have to do with the fact that I don't have very good eyesight, obviously. So. It was hard for me to keep track of some of the fight scenes earlier on in the movie. Yeah. It wasn't a problem later in the movie because there was a lot more that was happening. Fair, I think that was a lot of lighting.
I think that was the first. Well, they had the bit in South Korea, which was set at night, but I think the first fight scene was really the only one that was at night. That it would have been hard to see.
Well, no, the car chase was at night, but you could pretty much see everything.
Yeah, because it was South Korea and everything was lit to shit.
See, I even had a little bit of trouble tracking exactly what was happening in the casino, though, too. That's just not necessarily because of lighting or anything. I guess just because of the way that it was shot, it was just kind of hard to track.
Well, Marvel has a tendency to, in any of these big fight scene set pieces, they do a lot of cuts, and it's hard to register what's happening.
Try to make it seem more epic. Each person's fighting so many people, and they had to go back and forth and show what exactly they're doing. Yeah. But I did like the fight scenes.
Yeah.
Very cool action.
The fight scenes were incredible.
And this is
for instance, one of the parts that really got me was in the car chase scene where what's her name? Michonne's character throws the adamantium spear through the car.
Yeah, that was awesome. Wanted to talk about that point.
Or not adamantium. I'm sorry, vibranium.
We'll get to everything.
When we talk about her character,
dude. Yeah, Okoye made me feel things.
Okoye?
Okoye.
Okoye, is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Okoye.
She was really cool.
My big complaint, and it's really only at the beginning, because like the way they did exposition was weird, especially like, the first minute and a half. They're like, "Oh, tell me a story." It's like, okay, here's everything you need to know about Wakanda in a minute and a half.
Yeah.
Which was already kind of done. And
Well, see, I learned a lot about Wakanda in that movie.
Well,
I
yeah.
didn't know to what extent, like, what actually was going on over there. I actually thought they just, like, they were doing well,
yeah,
and they had all this vibranium. I didn't know
yeah.
it was straight up El Dorado,
Well, I think
City of Gold level.
it's probably because I watch a lot of, like, I watched the Death Battle before going to see the movie, so I learned a lot more before going into it. Because, like, they explained in the Death Battle, like, hey, basically Wakanda is sat on this mountain of vibranium.
Yeah.
And,
Well, I knew that, but like I didn't know that vibranium was the Darkhold.
Yeah, that was another
gives
one of
them
my
access to
biggest
Well,
concerns. with
all the
movie.
technology.
Well, I think it's because since Wakanda has sat on it for all these thousands of years, they've, learned what it can do. Rather than just like, oh, it's a hard metal.
See, that was my problem with it though. Was that like you said, it was very Darkhold in traditional Marvel style. In that, like, I get that vibranium is a very like hard material, or actually, it would technically be a very tough material because
Well, see, I
hard
wouldn't
is
even
just
say-
a resistant to
That's what I was
scratches.
gonna say.
and
Like,
things.
it's not just hard. It has these properties. Like, it doesn't vibrate at all.
Right, and like that's all well and good, but like the movie basically shows them doing like
Magic.
just outlandish, like almost magical things, and the only explanation is that it's because it's made with vibranium. It's like, how can vibranium just put out all this like energy? Like, what are you using as power sources? Like, it's all
vibranium.
coming from the vibranium.
The vibranium.
It's like, so vibranium is not only like the toughest material in the world, not only is it like absorbs all kinds of kinetic energy, but it also is like a nuclear reactor in and of itself.
I mean,
I don't think that it was generating the energy, but it allowed them to be just
I think
like exponentially more efficient
well,
with the
I think-
energy they had.
Well, I think okay. So
My thing, what confused me was the medical stuff. Like, how
yeah,
is it
like how
healing
does it
people?
heal people?
I don't know. But I think it, like, to your thing, they explained a lot in this movie about how the vibranium can absorb kinetic energy. So I guess it's tapping into that in a way that it doesn't really necessarily absorb it, but like it doesn't have to absorb it, but you can just release it. Because like that was the whole deal with Shuri's Panther cannons, which are dope. And I
That
wanna
was
say,
cool.
But I think it was just like with her tech, it may just be something about her tech that can make it absorb kinetic energy and then release it at a very fast pace.
The coolest upgrade on his suit, by the way. That was fucking
Absolutely.
awesome.
Yeah, that kind of upgrade to somebody's suit, like it holds so much awesome possibility
Yeah.
of what you can do with
and
that.
Put that
It's-
on the Iron Man suit and Captain America's shield, please.
Yeah,
Which-
like that's another thing is like in comparison, like Captain America's shield is a piece of shit.
Yep.
Like it's made out of vibranium, but it doesn't do anything cool
Well, no,
except
it's-
it's really tough and
well,
it sends out vibration.
Well, it wasn't made by
Well,
them.
well,
It was
Captain-
made by somebody who didn't know what vibranium
isn't
could
Captain
do.
America's shield like a combination of metals?
No, in the comics, it is a vibranium adamantium alloy.
Okay.
In the movies, it's just vibranium.
Just straight up vibranium. All right, because the X-Men aren't in
Yeah,
there
But
yet.
they
They're
are
not in
now,
it.
so
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
they will.
Which I'll pose this question later. But let's go into more spoiler things about the movie. So let's just go down the cast. Chadwick Boseman, our T'Challa, our Black Panther.
Mm-hmm.
I think he did a solid job.
He did. I think that he's a very strong actor, especially in this role. Like he seemed to kind of take on the role and portray it like really
Yeah,
well.
he got a very kingly presence.
Yeah, which
And yet at the same time, he's also very relatable. Like
Yeah.
you can
He's
tell that he's
like he does not know
like
what
he's a
doing.
good leader for his people and stuff, but he's also just like
He's a normal.
he's a cool
dude.
guy you'd like to hang out with.
Yeah. Which
Honestly,
okay,
he's very Thor-like. If you think about it,
no.
like And then, like not early Thor, like the one that grew into his role.
not in the I don't understand Earthlings kind of thing.
He was raised like to become king. Like he knew that's what he was gonna be. He still struggles with it. Like it's still like hard for him to make those decisions, but he knows what he has to do. Like that just occurred to me actually.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. I was about to say
he could probably pick up the hammer.
I was about to say, like, are you talking like early fish out of water Thor?
No. I'm talking about what Thor has
Be
become.
like, no, sir.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously, Black Panther had a much much bigger advantage in that kind of case because he's been around humans and he knows.
Like I just feel like he could pick up Mjolnir.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not like he's not human himself; he's just Wakandan.
And this is something that wasn't really. It was explained about Killmonger, but it wasn't about Black Panther or T'Challa. But like T'Challa, like he's been to like very prestigious universities in the story in the comics. Like I think he graduated from, I don't know if it was Harvard. I can look it up, but like some Ivy League schools he graduated from. He's not an idiot. Like he knows what he's doing, and like I don't know. But this was Fuck, I had a point.
How cool was Killmonger?
Killmonger was cool. I thought it was going to be a completely different deal than what it was.
I thought Claw was going to be the bad guy.
Well, I knew he was going to be a big part of it, but I thought Killmonger was just going to be in Wakanda. I thought like that's where it was going to start. It wasn't going to be this whole deal about his dad,
like him being an outsider and stuff.
Yeah, I thought he was just going to be in Wakanda plotting away. And then
I didn't know who Killmonger was. I don't know anything about Black Panther. I've never read the comics.
I know very little.
Yeah, I'm not like well versed on Black Panther, so everything in this movie to me was fresh. Yeah. So when he got revealed, it was like that's cool.
And that's a credit to the movie because you can go into this movie knowing very little, and it still does a good job of explaining who everyone is, and you don't feel spoon fed like let's say Green Lantern.
I enjoyed that movie.
Let's not go into Green Lantern.
The only thing I mean about that movie is it held your hand the entire way. Like it was
then of course you also have to take into account that's DC, and DC doesn't make very good movies.
Well, this is before DCEU, before their whole deal here.
Yeah, but they're making bad movies for a long time.
They've always made bad movies.
Yeah, but let's.
I was I think that it was a pretty cool kind of scenario with Killmonger being the bad guy and stuff because
like
you see the differences between them, and yet there's that shared bloodline and everything. So you see the Wakandan people that are very very traditional, very like proper and everything, and then you see the more like the more American like urban kind of representation. And it's like you see that clash between the two of them, and it's really cool to see that difference.
He has a motivation that I feel like, and not necessarily just MCU villains, that just a lot of villains lack. Like it's like I understand why you're doing this. You're not just being
it wasn't
dick.
Just good and evil. It was just two different viewpoints.
You're not being a dick just for the sake of being a dick, and the movie needs it. Like, yeah, your uncle murdered your dad. That's shitty. Like, of course you want to go. Of course you're pissed about it. Of course you've been told all these fairy tales about your homeland and how great it is. And then your homeland shows up and takes everything away from you. Like,
yeah. Which I feel like that they could have done better showcasing like his like motivation behind it and everything because like you definitely get why he's doing it and everything, but at the same time, I don't feel like it went into enough detail to really like make him a sympathetic character.
I don't think
up until the point where like Black Panther actually like basically kills him by stabbing him and stuff. Then it comes down to the point of like you start to sympathize more with him that he just wanted.
Well,
he wanted to come back home, and he wanted to he had all this anger in him that he wanted to get out by basically getting back at Wakanda, and it just seemed misguided to the point where until that point it was just like I'm mad, so I'm gonna take over Wakanda and then destroy like the world.
Well, it's
I think that wasn't T'Challa or that was that actor's name?
Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah, like he did. I think he made up for a lot of things. He made Killmonger a sympathetic character. And when you see him look at when he became Black Panther again, he went and talked to his father the second time, and he straight up called him. I was like, "You should never have left him there."
No. Yeah, it's like you were wrong.
It's like he's straight up. He's like, he's justified in what he's doing. I have to stop him, but he's justified.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. He's 100.
Like that. I loved that scene. That scene was really well done.
See, yeah. And this, okay, this is a little like we're in spoiler territory, but when Killmonger got the heart-shaped herb, I don't know why in my mind I thought about it as like when you do that ritual, like the Panther God has to choose you, like, and be worthy enough, because like I thought that's what it was in the comics. I think
it was.
I think there's an element there, but
it might just be a hallucinogenic.
It might be, but I thought, like, as soon as that was happening, I was like, Panther God's not going to choose him. I
thought he was going to get rejected.
Yeah.
I didn't think he was going to see his father. I thought he was going to see the previous kings.
Yeah, I thought
and they were going to be like, "You can't do this."
No,
so
you're not worthy.
And then he was going to get all pissy and burn all the things.
Which, by the way, fucking dickbag move.
That was so stupid.
I was like, what if you get challenged and then
it's like, what if you have a son and you want to pass it on to him?
But then he's like, no, I'm going to live forever. I'm the last one.
And actually, that raises a question of, like, can they regrow the heart-shaped fruit now? Because he burned all the crops, and then the one that they had, they gave back to T'Challa.
I don't think they can.
Well,
yeah, like, so is there just not going to be the heart-shaped fruit anymore? Is this going to be the last line for Black Panthers?
I don't know. They may do a thing like they show the ashes and one sprouts up or something.
Time stone.
Good point. Infinity War's coming up, maybe.
Yeah.
I do like that they explained it, though. The CIA guy was like, of course he did. That's what he was trained to do.
Yeah. Which
what do you think the odds are, speaking of Infinity War, that there's going to be a scene where Thanos, like, breaks vibranium, and they're just going to be like, "Oh my god!"
In Tony Stark's vision a long time ago, he saw the broken shield.
Broken,
yeah. Okay, so probably a pretty good chance then. I feel like I'm gonna be a little disappointed to see that, honestly, just because it seems so obvious.
Well, I mean,
they broke vibranium in this movie with Claw's hand cannon. Those cars were made of vibranium. That's why the bullets were bouncing off of them, and he shattered that car.
Well, it's vibranium versus vibranium.
It was like energy or something.
Well,
but it's a vibranium.
But I'm
weapon.
saying, like, it's like you see that they're like certain energy blasts can do it. So it would be simple for somebody like Thanos to.
In that sense, like a vibranium being able to break vibranium, it makes sense. But I feel like they're going to pull the whole, like,
Thanos
just on his own, he breaks it, and then they're like, "Oh my god, that shouldn't be possible."
Well, Thanos is
why not? It's the most powerful being in the universe.
Not true.
Because it's a cliche to showcase how powerful someone is.
I mean, we haven't seen Galactus yet, so
Galactus doesn't exist in that universe.
He can now, though.
He can now, but up to this point he hasn't, because he's Fantastic Four.
I mean, I feel like Galactus is just a like a Marvel villain.
He is. He's not specifically
Fantastic Four. Was he not included in all that other stuff? Because he was in the Fantastic Four movie.
I don't know. I never really watched the Fantastic Four movies.
The one, the Silver Surfer movie. Galactus was the bad guy.
Well, I know Silver Surfer. Like I saw the movie. I don't remember ever seeing Galactus.
The big whole thing that was coming to swallow the Earth that Silver Surfer rode up in. That was Galactus.
That's dumb. That's not Galactus. Galactus is the big fucking.
He's a celestial being. He's
purple and magenta wearing bastard.
He's like Ego. He's a celestial being.
That's stupid what they did.
But that was him.
It wasn't maybe not. What I'm wanting to say that there was some kind of, like, reference to Galactus in Guardians of the Galaxy. Wasn't
Very
there?
well might be.
Because isn't Galactus, like, one of, like, a race of things,
yeah,
and, like, they show
beings.
the dead one in
celestial beings. The nowhere, the big head that they go to.
Yeah,
that's the head of a celestial being.
Right.
Ego is one of them. Galactus is one, and I don't know if they've shown any others.
Right. So I mean, but that kind of like lens to it as well. They've already shown one of the celestial beings in a Marvel universe movie, so
I don't know.
Galactus could show up.
Because like,
especially now they own the rights, so he absolutely can show up.
we're getting off the Black Panther thing. This is the last thing I'm gonna say about Galactus and all that. After Infinity War and Thanos, what do you do?
I don't know. Maybe they start a new arc. Maybe they just let that universe rest and start another one.
But where do you pick up from there? Like, it would bigger than Thanos?
I mean, it's kind of hard to say because I'm not really familiar with the actual Infinity War arc in the Marvel world.
I mean, they could do Secret War.
Like, I don't know how that actually ends in the
Civil War Part 2.
They're actually with
no, Marvel Zombies.
I
would love if they made a Marvel Zombies movie.
With Captain Marvel, they're actually, I think the Skrulls are going to be the villain there, so that could open up Secret War.
Yeah,
I don't know what Secret War is.
Skrulls are a race of alien that can, I believe, shapeshift and also absorb or mimic the powers of other people. So that's why Skrull in Marvel vs. Capcom has all the powers of the Fantastic Four.
Oh.
Yeah. But anyway, Black Panther, what we were talking about. Where the fuck were we?
I don't know. We've been going down the cast.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what's her name again?
Okoye.
I wish I could remember her name. Why don't they just give her the heart-shaped fruit? She's the biggest badass in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just because of tradition, you know. That's the whole big thing about the movie was, tradition and everything. Like, the Black Panther has to win in the fight of anybody who challenges them, and then like only certain people are allowed to be Black Panther. So, you know,
I think if she had challenged him and stepped down there, she would have whooped his ass.
Well, okay.
She might have.
So to that point, I understand there's this big tradition, this big sort of ritual and ceremony about it, but they had a lot of that heart-shaped herb.
They did.
Yeah.
Why not just like give it to everyone? And
Because
make everyone buff?
they're very ceremonial about it.
Well, I mean, and it's also the same kind of thing as it always is, like, because if you just go around giving everybody this incredible power, eventually somebody's going to use it wrong. And then you're gonna have a mess. So they have the one person that represents the Black Panther who has to carry that for the people.
That's a really good point. That and probably the how sacred it was to them.
Yeah, I mean it's the whole same deal of why they've stayed hidden this whole time, because they're like, we can't have everybody have like vibranium and shit.
I'm just saying, give the Dora Milaje some heart-shaped herb. You will never lose a fight.
That's true. I mean, I feel like that it wouldn't be a bad idea if they gave, like these like super fucking loyal, like incredibly trained, like protectors of the throne, like also give them the fruit, because then
maybe,
like you've got to.
Evidently, they don't need it because, like we talked about, when that car blew up and she goes flying through the air, she grabs a spear and jams it into the hood of the car. It's like, that's not the thing that humans should be able to do.
Yeah.
It
raises the point, like, are Wakandans just naturally also, like, just more enhanced than regular humans are?
I don't think so.
I don't think that they are. She was just a big enough badass that she could do that.
I think she's just a big old buff girl, and,
Maybe. I feel like that there are a lot of questions that this movie kind of brought up and didn't address. That I mean, I'm sure that they'll get to in later films. But
I think
like one thing that I was very curious about is the whole big thing about the movie is the Panther God and stuff.
Best.
And then you have the other tribe that worships the monkey god,
the
ape god. Like
what's
up with him?
Yeah, I think they explained it a bit in that. That opening exposition vomit about Wakanda in and of itself. It's like, okay, so Wakanda had the 5 tribes, and then they fought, and then one guy found the heart-shaped herb, and he basically wiped the floor with everybody. He became the king and the Black Panther, and then like one tribe went to the mountains
Yeah,
because
that
they
was
didn't
them.
like it.
Yeah.
And yeah, which fair. And apparently M'Baku, the leader of that tribe, is apparently a real big bad Black Panther villain. Like,
Is he?
yeah, it's supposed to be.
I mean, it
So
makes
he was
sense.
didn't seem like
No,
it in this
he was
movie.
just.
I mean, I thought he was gonna be the
Yeah.
way they introduced that story, and then when he showed up, but it's
Yeah.
just like he's the school bully that comes
Yeah,
around to be
yeah.
the main character's friend.
Which, fair enough. And apparently, in the comics, Claw, apparently he is a being made entirely of sonic energy.
What?
That's a thing I learned today.
All right.
Yeah. I don't know why, but it's a thing.
Maybe he will be. Maybe that happens.
No, Andy Serkis is straight up dead, which, by the way, how dare you do my man Andy Serkis that way?
Yeah, I felt like that he kind of got shafted. Like,
But again, and like, I don't know how much more Claw could have done.
yeah, I mean, he kind of did serve his purpose
Yeah.
for the film, but at the same time, I feel like that they didn't have to kill him off.
It's also kind of to showcase how bloodthirsty Killmonger is, because it's like killed his girlfriend just to get to him. So,
Yeah,
and also
and he's got all those dots on his body.
and also he needed to
What
bargain.
were those, by the way?
Those
It's
are-
scarification.
I
Yeah,
know, but like, how did he do that? Was he just like pinching it really hard?
he probably burned it.
No, well, I mean, for scarification, usually it requires just like cutting the skin and tissue repeatedly until the scar tissue
Raises.
builds up to a certain point. So probably just fucking. But then again, didn't Claw also say something about calling them brands?
No, he said
Well,
that
he-
they brand people, like, if you steal from Wakanda, this
Oh,
is
yeah,
what they
okay,
do
that's
to you.
right.
And he's like, I'm not a stranger to scars, and he shows it like that.
Yeah.
That's
that's-
right.
but
Yeah,
that's like- he's
that's
like-
what he did basically.
He's like Deadshot in the sense that
He marks all his kills
yeah,
on his body.
yeah.
But I think his is a little bit more intense than Deadshot's,
Well, yeah, but
and there's a few more of them.
But like, number one, it's probably just because it was a cool character design. Number two, it's just like, this guy doesn't fuck around. Like, if he wants you dead, probably gonna happen.
Yeah, history shows he's probably going to succeed in killing you.
Yeah. Just going down the wherever I searched Black Panther cast. How do we feel about Nakia? That was Lupita Nyong'o's character.
Is that the ex-girlfriend?
Yeah, the ex-girlfriend.
Which she's okay. She was a little obnoxious, in my opinion.
Well,
I feel like that she really wasn't like utilized very much,
Well-
honestly.
well, as far as
she's
the
like,
love
she had
story
this
went,
kind of like this. Her attitude towards like why she wouldn't come back to Wakanda and everything was just like.
well, that's her character though. Like, she's like,
That's what I'm saying. The character itself is a little obnoxious to me.
oh, like she's a freedom fighter. That's her entire deal. Like, she's meant to be a spy out there, which, fair enough. I liked.
Yeah, they
liked
made
how
a point of making that
Yeah.
established, and how many times she goes, "I'm a spy."
Yeah.
It's like, we get it, you're a spy.
So she didn't even seem like wait, is she one of the war dogs?
She's part of the Dora Milaje, but she was sent out to go, instead of being a like a resident member of it, they sent her out to go basically collect information and things of the sort.
That's what the war dogs were doing, though, right? That's what Killmonger's dad was.
Yeah, I guess so.
And what Jury was.
Yeah, Jury and Killmonger's dad was Njobu. Njobu. Which,
I like that actor who played him because
yeah, he's in a bit.
Supernatural.
He's in a bit.
He was
Sterling K. Brown.
He was a recurring villain for a while. In
Man,
Supernatural.
okay.
Yeah,
Speaking of Jury, was he necessary?
Which one was Jury?
Forrest Whitaker.
Oh, okay. I mean,
Yeah,
he was important to.
I mean,
They
to-
needed another father figure to die
I mean,
for the Black Panther, and he was another one because they had
Yeah.
already killed his actual father.
basically, the entire deal of Jury was like, as soon as like he was like, "Oh, I was there," I'm like, "You're gonna die."
Yeah.
Like, you're only here to, at this point, have a a death that leads to kind of your redemption.
Well, didn't he also tend to the heart-shaped fruit garden?
He did, but like
he was important in that aspect.
There was also like 4 other attendants in that room that were doing it.
Yeah, he like presided over the whole challenge ceremony and the giving of the heart-shaped fruit to him. Like, I think he was like head shaman.
Yeah,
guy.
he's a shaman druid kind of guy. But like, and I understand that. I understand that. He just didn't. I thought he was gonna have more of a screen presence than he did. Like there was gonna be more that he did, because he was just like, oh well, I'm your attendant into Black Pantherhood. So like, and that was kind of it.
I don't know. I mean, they had a lot going on in the movie. Probably couldn't devote a whole lot of screen time.
Fair. I mean, it was a 2-hour movie.
Yeah. So personally, the character that I think was kind of, I don't know, not really utilized too well was whatever his name is, his friend that
Wakabi?
that turned on him.
Yeah.
I hated
Like,
that guy.
That dude flipped like in an instant. It was like, we should go and like take over the rest of the world. And it's like, no, we're not going to do that. Okay, well, I'm just going to overthrow you and I hope you die.
Well, no, that's
he's
not
like,
necessarily how it was.
He's like, you're going to bring Claw back? Or he's like, yeah. He's like, okay, I wasn't able to bring Claw back this time. He's like, fuck you.
Yeah, it's like, it's
we're
like
done.
I failed the very first time and only by barely.
Well,
and he was like, okay, well, you're an utter failure, so like you deserve to be overthrown.
Couple things about that. Number one, T'Challa did give his word. As king, that kind of means some shit. Like, 2, T'Challa could have just been like, yo, dude, I didn't get him, but here's what happened. And, like, he could have explained the whole freedom fighters, like, blowing up the building.
I mean, he didn't really give him a chance,
yeah,
though.
like,
I still put
all that on Wakabi. Like, T'Challa could have just been like, I didn't get him, but I'm the king, so shut up.
I mean, but that's not T'Challa's
right?
style, though. Like, not at that point.
It's not. But,
not at that point.
But that dude's acting like a little baby bitch. So treat him like one.
Like it just felt very off. Like the whole thing involving him, just because it was like, he gave his word that he was going to capture him. No, he didn't capture him. But no other king has done anything. This was the first time that he actually did. He even attempted it. And he almost did get him.
But like,
the only reason he didn't was because the CIA was like, no, we got to keep him. And he was like, all right, well.
No, the only reason he didn't get him is because Killmonger showed up.
And
well, yeah, but that wouldn't have happened if they hadn't like let the CIA take him back for questioning.
Yeah.
Which also was a bad move in general.
That's like the CIA guy. I liked him. What was his name?
Martin Freeman's the actor. It's Everett Ross.
Everett Ross. He's like replacement Coulson.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because Coulson can't come back because reasons.
Because they just like Coulson.
I mean, everyone likes Coulson.
I don't need a replacement Coulson.
Well, Ross is a big character in the comics. You remember, it's they kind of brought him back in Winter Soldier maybe, and Civil War for sure.
Yeah.
There's a older Ross guy that an older General Ross, I think, that he was in the Hulk. He was in
wait, the guy that like is the Red Hulk, I think, in the comics. I thought that was the General.
I don't know, but
the Incredible Hulk revolves around a lot of army stuff, so there was a lot of generals. In the Incredible Hulk.
It's Liv Tyler's dad in the Edward Norton Hulk movie. He's a Ross. He's meant
to be. Tyler?
I think he's the.
Oh, well, I have no fucking.
He's
clue.
the Red Hulk.
I have no fucking clue.
You should Google that. You got your phone.
Yeah, but I've got this up.
Dude, don't know how to open up multiple tabs.
I know how to open up multiple tabs.
I just don't know about Pangea.
This bitch don't know about Pangea. What the fuck were we on? Wakabi. He does have the coolest item, I think, I'm going to put in a D&D game. They're little cloak things that they can just like hold up like fucking Dracula, and then energy shields.
Oh yeah.
Like that shit was dope. As soon as that showed up, I was like, using it.
Oh, yeah, that was just whatever.
And he had armored rhinos.
I like their scimitars better.
He had armored rhinos.
Their scimitars were really cool. They glowed with some kind of energy.
Like, was it scimitars?
I don't know. They were curvy blades.
Yeah, they had all kinds of weapons in that. Like, it might have been scimitars, it might have been kopeshes. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that they would technically be scimitars because scimitar isn't the type of sword that was used in that region.
It was probably,
Like scimitars,
it was
I believe, were a Middle Eastern weapon.
It was the curvy blade. It makes me think of scimitar.
it's probably a
Well, there's a lot of different curvy blades.
yeah, it might have been a kopesh.
Don't even know what that is.
A kopesh, you like what the Dothraki used.
He doesn't watch Game of Thrones.
It's a sword that like comes out a little bit.
It looks like a
And
big
then-
sickle, but it's a
Like
sword.
in the books, they called them swords.
Well, it's like
Yeah, I mean, it is a sword, but
it's like a big C sword. Like it comes out a bit and then it curves around like a C. It's meant to get around shields.
yeah,
Whatever, they were cool.
If you think of a hand sickle, it's like that, except it's a sword. That's
Yeah.
a sickle, but it's sword size.
Speaking of Wakabi, at the end, the big climactic battle scene, which by the way, fuck him, that little dick pulling out his horn and being an asshole about everything.
Yeah, but it led to the armored rhinos.
It led to the armored rhinos, which were dope, which leads me to my next point. Fucking Okoye is a badass. She just like he was running at M'Baku and like with the armored rhino, and she just slides in front and just like the rhino like skids to a stop and just
and
like
licks her face.
I was like, and she just stared him down.
That's another one of my favorite parts of the movie. It's like, would you kill me? It's like,
Yeah.
for Wakanda? Without
yeah.
question.
And I'm
I
just
was
like,
do it!
just like fucking do it, dude. Like stab him in heart now.
Yeah, like that.
God, I
I
love
think
that
that
character.
I really like her character.
Dude, there was so many times I was watching it and I'm like, which of his friends are gonna die? Who's it gonna be? It's
I
gonna
thought it was
be,
going to be his little sister for a second.
I thought I was like,
I was like, don't you kill her. Don't
It
you kill
won't-
her.
it
I'll
won't-
leave this movie.
it won't be Okoye because they need her for the Dora Milaje. What would be the biggest hit
His sister.
to his sister Shuri, which by the way is my favorite character
I
because she's
do
the
love
best.
her.
she's hilarious.
Yeah,
Well, like when she was hitting him with those cannons and
Yeah.
he was walking towards her,
Yeah.
I was like, they're going to kill her. They're going to kill her.
yeah. I was like, oh no, here it comes, here it comes, here it comes.
when Martin Freeman wakes up, he's like, "Where am I? Kansas."
You are in Kansas, and I was like, no, you're not.
Strike it. Not so hard.
Not so hard. You're like you come into my lab and you're kicking my shit all over the place.
It's like, now do it again. It's like, you're recording.
He's like
For research.
purposes, and he's like delete that footage. The coolest shit though with Shuri though was her weird sand hologram car bullshit.
That
Yeah.
was weird.
I was like-
what was that?
I was just
I
like
don't know. I'm asking. It's vibranium.
I was just like
Yep.
I was like
Darkhold
because
vibranium.
like as soon as it happened I was like
Dark vibranium.
okay, where do we go from here? Like
Which raises an interesting question. Which of those items, the Darkhold or vibranium, can outdo sexy themselves? what if vibranium got a hold of the Darkhold? How does vibranium get a hold of anything? It's metal.
Vibranium.
Because,
Oh yeah,
It's
That's true.
vibranium.
Ultron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vibranium, Ultron with the Darkhold.
I mean, it's still not
Fused with Sigma.
See, that's absurd and everything, but it's still not as absurd as something that actually happened,
the
which
Hulk.
was Red Hulk with Ghost Rider powers and the Darkhold.
That's so dumb.
Didn't he have an Infinity Stone too?
I don't think he had.
I
an
feel
Infinity
like
Stone.
at the Marvel Comics office they have like a couple dartboards, and it's like, okay, what's this art gonna be about? Fucking Red Skull, adamantine bones, and he's got 2 of the Infinity Stones. Like,
All right.
The more important question is, what are those?
I cannot believe they did that. I was
know, right?
mad for a second.
What was the deal with that?
Because what are those was a
It's a meme.
It was a Vine meme
Oh, I don't know that
about
meme.
people's shoes, primarily people who wore like Crocs or flip flops outside.
Yeah, if
And it was-
somebody's wearing ugly shoes,
Yeah.
you go, "What are those?"
And there was a big
Why do you
Vine.
have your toes out of my lap?
And it's like, I thought I'd go old school. And I was just like, come on, Marvel. Why do you got it like,
Yeah, like at this day and age, you need a Dwayne meme.
you know,
Wakanda
It would have been
Knuckles.
perfect. Wakanda Knuckles.
I was waiting for it. I was like, are they going to do it? That'd be so funny if they did it.
Do you know the way to Wakanda?
no one does.
That's kind of the
point.
point.
Well, everybody knows the way. They just don't go there to see the illusion.
Yeah. Man. Sure
Which was
cool.
that was another thing I brought up with Logan after the movie that kind of bothers me. It's like this whole time Wakanda's been portrayed as like a poor third world country and everything,
but and
because of the illusion and everything is pretty.
Yeah.
And I'm like, someone at some point in history has been there. Like that means that they had to act like they were in a third world country, even if it didn't look that way.
This is something I thought about the other night. In Civil War,
yeah,
the guy blows himself up. Scarlet Witch throws him up there. They blow up the building. Wasn't that in Wakanda?
no,
Where was that?
that was in it was
Because I thought that was the whole reason that
No.
the Wakandan king was heading that council to make
Well, no,
about those accords because it
Wakanda
happened there.
Wakanda was there to ratify the Sokovia Accords, which was the United Nations. Like,
Oh no,
it was.
Google that.
Yep.
Yeah, look that up because I actually don't remember well enough to say definitively that wasn't on Wakandan soil.
I'm almost. I thought I remembered that being Wakanda. In which case, they were pretending like that was a big deal.
Yeah. And once again, that means that they have to
And they were
actually
all acting like it was
portray
a third world
that
country.
it's a third world country. Which brings the question, it's like, are they just acting like it's third world country? Or is there actually a third world border around Wakanda?
I don't know. I think
Because if so, that's kind of fucked up.
I don't know. I'm looking up this shit.
It's like we have to put up a shield of peasants to make sure people don't realize that we're rich.
Wow. Let's see. Just tell me. Okay. Nation of Sokovia, Lagos. It
Lagos.
was Lagos.
Oh, okay.
Oh. Okay.
Let's see. So Shuri was dope. I want her to make all of my technology.
Well, I mean, duh.
Yeah.
See, I want to see her and Tony Stark and Bruce Banner team up and build some shit.
I want her and Tony to like face off because she's better than Tony.
Yeah.
How's she better than Tony?
She's number one. She's younger. Number two, she has access to all the vibranium.
What
she
if
could ever
she's
want.
the next Iron Man?
That'd be dope. I'd be down.
That would be dope.
I'd be so down for
Wasn't
that.
the
full
wasn't the
vibranium
replacement
Iron
Iron Man
Man
like
suit?
a young black girl?
Well, in the newest,
I never learned her.
comics?
I never heard her name. but
yeah, I thought she was an MIT student, but I think
maybe.
but I think she's I think I saw another thing that like she's like really young, like, so I don't know.
She was like an 8-year-old.
I don't know if she was 8, but she's like young.
No,
So-
I don't think it's fair to say she's better than Tony. She has access to a much more magical material than Tony.
Well, which is why she's better.
You give Tony Stark some vibranium and see what happens.
Okay, let him face off in Wakanda. Let's go.
He built the first Iron Man suit in a cave
Yeah,
with very little to work with.
which credit to Tony, but
You put him in a cave with some
Yeah,
vibranium.
credit to him, but I mean, you look at the first Iron Man suit. It's not like that. It's anything fantastic.
And how many-
It's like it's definitely
It's
like
something
way
that-
better than anyone else could have made. But also, it's not nearly on the same level as what she makes.
like
because she
Even
I
the
think,
actual Iron Man suit he uses now isn't on the same playing field as what she makes.
that's what I'm saying. It's because she has an unfair advantage over him. Like I'm saying, put him on an even playing field, and then we can see who's better.
But see, it has to come down to there's something more to Wakanda and its technological advances than just vibranium.
I mean,
Like, unless you are going full out Deus Machina Darkhold with vibranium to where it can literally do anything for no reason, there has to be other scientific advances that explains why Wakanda is so, like, incredible. Like, there's got to be power sources. There's got to be like other like uses for like materials or chemicals or what have you, like just elemental forces of the universe that they can utilize to make their civilization the way it is. It can't all be built solely off of vibranium.
I don't disagree, but that's the only reason we've been given.
Yeah.
Like for instance, like she figured out how to use like the with the rail system they use. Like she figured out how to temporarily turn off the properties of vibranium.
by the way,
with those
I'm
things.
Incredible
saying,
set piece.
until they've been put on an even playing field, same materials, same like with and see what they could do with it. We can't definitively say that she's better than Tony.
And that's, but
I mean, you can't definitively say it. I feel like that you can undefinitively say it.
I mean,
yeah, it doesn't mean anything.
Cody's thing kind of like brings me back to a point I said earlier. Like, everything was explained in a way that I feel like it wasn't like hand-holdy, but it left just enough of that mystery, kind of like Star Wars, where it's like, okay, what's this thing? Okay, this is what it is. And then like you also get shit like Han Solo did the Kessel Run. What's the Kessel Run? Who gives a fuck? He did it. Like, it's just,
Speaking of, not to get off topic for Marvel and stuff, but we saw the trailer for the Han Solo movie, and that doesn't very seem interesting.
It's not that intriguing. I mean, intriguing of a prospect.
I have two.
I was way more hyped for Jurassic World 2.
Fuck, that looks so bad.
It's
okay. The island's exploding. Okay,
yeah, and there's dinosaurs.
Yeah, there's explosions and dinosaurs.
Great.
How's that not awesome? It's way cooler than Solo.
Oh, like, I just have two things about Solo. Number one, they're going to show the Kessel Run, which boo. Number two, there's going to be a love.
I mean, that hasn't been confirmed, has it?
Yeah, because it has the pre-Kessel Run Falcon in it, and then also, like, it's like he and Lando are there. He's going to win the Falcon from Lando by doing the Kessel Run, which why ruin that mystery? Why do it? Number two, there's going to be a love thing between Daenerys and Han Solo, and she's going to tell her that he loves her, and she's going to say, I know. And that's where he got it from. Like from Empire?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, you're just looking at me like I'm dumb.
Yeah,
So-
you're just talking about stuff I don't care about anymore.
Well,
Let's go back
Babe
to
Ruth
Black
over
Panther.
here calling the shots.
Yeah. It's going to happen. I watch enough film to know where things are going.
Well, I won't
mean,
know about it because
Hollywood-
I'm probably not going to watch the movie.
You know,
I'm
Hollywood's
gonna
full of
see it.
cliches, so you
Yeah.
can. It's pretty easy to like suss those kinds of things out.
I don't know. Donald Glover's
Hey, I know what
Lando,
I
man.
wanted to bring up about in Black Panther.
Mm.
Why'd they bark at that guy?
Yeah, that was a good point. Like
The
the
CIA guy starts talking to him.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
and they're all
yeah,
barking.
boys
It's like
just
you guys
start
know that
barking
that's
at
not
him.
how
Well, yeah,
apes sound, right?
Because he's an outsider. He
I
doesn't
know,
get
but,
to
like,
speak there.
But like, why are they barking?
To get him
Yeah.
to shut the fuck up.
It was so random.
Which, by the way, like
I
thinking,
don't know. Maybe they just felt like that it would have come off as like. I mean, it came off as stupid anyway. But I guess they figured it would have been stupid if they all started making monkey noises.
Which, by the way, M'Baku, a lot funnier of a character
yeah,
than I
he
thought.
became really
Yeah.
funny at the end.
Because like they were.
Are you finished?
Are you finished?
Are you finished?
Because like I thought he was just gonna be this like fucking dickbag the entire time, but he was like, like I won't fight for you, but I'll fight for Wakanda, and I'm just like, yes, because once he showed up and just picked fucking what the fuck is that character's name? I keep forgetting. There's so many characters. Wakabi. He just picked him up and tossed his ass. I was like, hell yeah, let's go. Ugh. Okay, so Angela Bassett's on this list, which she was in the movie.
That was his mother, right?
Yeah, that was Ramonda was the character's name. Which did they ever say that?
That was her mother or her name?
That was her name. Did they
I'm
ever?
sure.
Did they? I don't remember her.
Probably offhandedly said it.
But like, I understand why she was there for grieving wife and mother, and
I mean, she was
Like,
basically like queen, so
she was-
she kind of had to be there.
I mean, yeah, but like, I just feel like
They didn't really do anything with it.
they didn't. Yeah, she was there to be an emotional springboard. It's like, oh, she's sad, so we should feel sad.
Right.
Yeah, like I don't know. I just feel like there was more that like okay, Shuri's a badass. Nakia's a badass. Okoye is a badass. Seems like everyone in this continent, in this country, is a badass, and Ramonda ain't do dick. It's like,
I mean, they can't only have badasses.
it was just
They
another
gotta
thing
have
like
other
Jerry.
kinds of
Like they can only
Hey.
devote so much screen time to each character.
counterpoint to that, Sparta. Everyone was a badass in Sparta.
Not everybody was a badass.
And if they weren't,
there were also the people who they kept as slaves, and
then if you weren't a
the
badass,
Politicians.
and then if you weren't a
The old
badass,
people.
they tossed your ass off a cliff.
well, no,
That's if
that
you
was-
have birth
yeah.
defects.
Yeah, not a badass.
You can be a badass with birth defects.
You
Really?
could just be normal and
The-
not have birth
the,
defects.
The one guy that had the birth defects in that movie, he was not a badass.
He kind of was. I'm sure he could take all of us in a fight.
Fucking Hunchback?
Yeah.
No.
He lived from getting
Did you-
tossed off a cliff.
Did you see his form when he stabbed the air?
Yeah. He
He could
stabbed.
probably skewer you like a pig.
And also, if Sparta was such badasses, where are they now?
Sparta.
No, there aren't any Spartans left.
Well, time and
You don't know that. They could be
time and much
they
more
could be,
Persians.
They could be.
I mean, there are still Greeks left.
they could be IRL.
Still Athenians.
They could be RL Wakanda.
They could be. I doubt it.
Ooh.
Didn't they get conquered by somebody?
Yeah.
That's where they went. They died.
But that's the point. If they're such badasses, why did they get conquered?
badasses get conquered all the time.
Well, that's the main cast. Well, Andy Serkis, who I love and will watch anything that man is in. But like this kind of runs down the cast. I think everyone was kind of aside from Ramonda. I don't know. Whatever. She didn't do much, but I feel like everyone else kind of had their part to play, and it was executed fairly well. I don't know. Shuri's my favorite character out of everything. So
Yeah.
What about at the beginning of that museum?
museum.
That item they had that was made of vibranium and no one seemed to notice.
Well, I don't think.
I feel like that
unless you
somebody at some point should have realized
Somebody
there
would've
was something off about
somebody
that
would
thing.
have studied that item and realized
Well,
it.
Like they have to carbon date things, which they could off the rust on it or whatever. Which also brings up the point like, did vibranium rusts?
but I don't
No, I
think.
don't think it
I think it
does.
was just like centuries of dirt that was caked onto it.
Yeah, which they would have like peeled some off.
I don't know.
And they
It
they would have
was-
tested the metal and been like, hey, this isn't any kind of metal that we've
I
ever
think-
seen before.
I think that was kind of just a reason for Killmonger to show up.
It was. It absolutely
and-
was.
and
It was
just
just
be
a very
like-
hard to believe reason.
And it was just like, it's like, oh, well, what's this thing? Haha, you stupid bitch, you're wrong. It's this. I know
it's
shit.
actually vibranium.
I know shit. So.
And how did he find out about it?
Yeah, right.
Well, because
Like just because his dad was from there,
they alluded.
it doesn't give him this magical ability to just spot vibranium.
Well, they alluded to this notebook that his father had, which had all this knowledge about Wakanda. I'm sure, basically, exposition vomit about everything that he needed to know. So it probably mentioned vibranium, and then he probably did his own research, going all over the world, searching for vibranium and what exactly it was. And there's probably a lot that Eric Stevens did as a soldier that wasn't really explained about how he knew so much. But again, like Black Panther, he has studied at all these universities, and he's not an idiot. He knows what he's looking for, and he's a smart guy. So
Yeah, but I feel like that if he could have found that vibranium, then Wakanda definitely could have found that vibranium, and they should have. Because if they're
disagree.
working so hard to keep vibranium like secured and like their existence a secret and everything, if this random like Wakandan kid who was left on his own as a little boy to grow up in standard America barely has any attachment to his homeland except for this journal that his dad kept or whatever.
actually,
Like nobody from
I
Wakanda
think-
could track down
nobody
this.
researching that item
which
knew it was vibranium.
I think actually, it wasn't all him. I think Claw had a lot to do with that.
Well, he told Claw that it was vibranium, and Claw didn't know until he got there. And he had
Yeah,
to
he's like,
test
"You're
it.
sure this is vibranium?"
Oh,
But-
I thought he
The thing, like he was saying, Wakanda should have known. I think they did know. They knew that vibranium was there
Because
were
they
like,
tracked it.
Claw just stole some vibranium from thing. Why did you let that sit there?
Yeah, like why wouldn't they just show up and be like, "Hey, I'm from Wakanda. This is actually an artifact from our history. We're gonna need that back."
well, I don't know. It was just like,
Or
hey,
have Black Panther steal it, like
it's
yeah.
like
for
here's
the good of the country. Yeah, it's not that big a deal.
Like it seems like a huge oversight for them to just leave a vibranium artifact like
Yeah.
on display in a major museum.
Fair enough. I don't know.
I feel like that
I feel
was,
like it was supposed to be a small part of the movie that really kind of bugged me.
it was a pretty big plot hole when you stop and actually consider the circumstances.
speaking of
it
plot,
was really just a device to set up for Killmonger to be able to
show up and be like, okay, here's his deal. And speaking of plot things, when you watch Killmonger and T'Challa fight for the first time, and of course Killmonger was gonna win.
See, I thought that was in the movie. I thought, okay, Black Panther's gonna. T'Challa's gonna barely win this. It's gonna be over, and then there's like so much more.
Yeah, but like whenever he threw him off the waterfall, which by the way, like there's an aside. That set piece is fucking beautiful. Yeah, I loved that. That was so cool.
I'm still not entirely sure
like how
the mechanics of that battleground works, because like they have the things that like raise up and drain water and stuff.
Like I was wondering what was actually.
It's like where is that placed?
Yeah. But that's such a cool set piece. But like whenever Killmonger won and then threw him over the waterfall, like did you honestly think he was dead? No way. We've still got like an hour left of this movie. He's not dead.
If nothing else, we know he's in Infinity War. Obviously, he's not dead.
Yeah, which, But like as soon as like they went to go to M'Baku, I was like, they have him. That's where he is. That's obviously where he is.
See, I didn't fully expect M'Baku to have him. I assumed that like they were going to try to get M'Baku to help, and either that he was going to help, but it wasn't going to be enough, and then he was just going to show back up, or like some other circumstance. I didn't fully expect him to just be there.
Yeah, there was a lot about this movie that like was different than a lot of the MCU movies. Like I saw a bunch of things about people like complaining that there wasn't enough like spectacle in the movie, which by the way, you're incredibly wrong. Two, it's a much and this is where I think you and I disagree on a lot of Marvel stuff, Logan. It's like you expect it to be one way, but like for example, the Netflix stuff, you expect all of them to be like Daredevil, which that's not
be hero movies.
But it's like not everything.
You expect a lot of action.
Yeah, there's not everything's meant to be about like vigilante going out and punching people. Like it's like. Black Panther is absolutely a superhero movie, but it's a different type of superhero movie.
I feel like that it had enough action in it, as much as I'd expect from it. It was just not as flashy
like
as most Marvel action movies.
Okay, so the big set pieces were the casino fight, and the subsequent car chase, the climactic fight at the end. And then there was just like little small bits here and there. There wasn't like a ton of like large set piece like encounters that went on, which I think is
there was 2 1-on-1 fights.
Yeah, there was M'Baku versus T'Challa, which was dope. There was Killmonger v T'Challa 1, which was dope, and then there was like the caravan attack, but that was just like setting the tone for stuff. Like that was small potatoes compared to everything else, which I don't know. It's not necessarily about like giant portal in the sky and gotta save the world. It's like this guy saving his country. Like that's
I don't know. I'm the guy that, like you said, wants the spectacle, wants the big fights and like all the action and stuff. And
fair.
This movie had enough of it for me. I love the movie.
But I'm just saying like.
So if people are complaining about that, then like, that's a little unreasonable.
I mean, I just like the reason I brought it up is like because like some people
still think Jessica Jones is boring.
Like Jessica Jones.
Well, that's because Jessica Jones is fucking boring.
No, Jessica Jones is great. I love Jessica Jones. Season 2 comes out soon.
I'll still watch it. It was boring.
But it's like
I'm not gonna watch it.
But like you go into it expecting one thing, but when you can tell superhero stories in different ways.
I would say that any kind of criticism on that point is the only thing that kind of gives it a little bit of credence is that comparing the action in the Black Panther movie versus the action that Black Panther does in like Civil War and stuff like that is very different. Like it was a lot more of a spectacle in the other movies than in his own.
I think in Civil War
he seemed a lot more threatening.
I think in Civil War he had to be. This was the first time Black Panther was showing up. Like the same thing with Spider-Man. Like you Like they had to be
Yeah,
like,
and to be fair, it's also a different kind of circumstance because outside of the Black Panther movie, it's like him fighting against superheroes and like just the fact that his vibranium suit is like so out of the ordinary for what they're used to. It's a bigger deal. In Wakanda, like vibranium is basically the same as glass, like it's everywhere. So they're like, oh, we're not really impressed by your vibranium suit.
Yeah, like,
so it's not like you can't really showcase
the kinetic thing in it, which was badass.
Yeah.
He's gonna be so much more badass in Infinity War now.
Like that's such a cool upgrade.
Like absorb a Thanos punch and throw that back at him, please.
Because it was.
But it's also been shown that it wouldn't withstand that.
Yeah, it could be overloaded.
When did it get overloaded?
Because whenever all the fucks like were hitting him, and like it shorted it out, or like he took
a big hit from something.
It might have
been
Rhino. It might have been
the
Rhino.
Yeah, the Rhino. And his suit kind of
when the guys were hitting it, that's when he looked over and saw his sister in trouble, and then he blasted
and he released it.
Yeah, something hit him where
the Rhino knocked him through the air, and
his suit kind of freaked out about it a little bit.
I didn't like that. I was like, that should have been able to take that. Rhinos aren't that strong.
That's such a cool.
I don't know about that.
Strong enough to overpower vibranium.
Plus, they had vibranium like
armor
on them.
He had vibranium armor, which I'm super totally putting a armored rhinoceros in my game. That's incredible.
War Rhino.
Yeah, but like it's that kinetic energy thing.
Where were those rhinos hiding?
In the ground.
He blew the horn and they were there.
They were like they burrowed.
Yeah. Like they suited up and got there real fast.
Like, he probably had them already suited up, but they still like got there. Really
they came like out
of
the ground.
Why,
it was weird.
Why did he have them suited up? They didn't know he was gonna show up and fight them.
Well, what if like
they were doing like a very big important part of their mission. You'd get everything ready just in case.
But their mission was to send weapons out to their war dogs. It didn't involve them.
Yeah, but what if somebody like Black Panther showed up to try to stop it?
Dead, though.
But what if anybody showed up to try to stop it?
I just think it's another plot hole. There's no reason for those rhinos to be hiding on the other side of the hill in their armor. Like, did he blow the horn?
I mean, I don't really think it's a plot hole because they made it a point to show the rhinos earlier on. It's like they're establishing this is something that they have, so obviously they're gonna use it, or at least they should by the standards of theater, because that's a standing rule. Is Asimov's gun? I think is what it's called.
Like if you show the gun, use the gun.
If there's a gun in the scene, then at some point it has to be used. Otherwise, it shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
I think it's more believable to think that the Rhino's armor is like the Black Panther armor, and they're always wearing it.
But they aren't always wearing it because we saw them not wearing it earlier.
Yeah, he could have been wearing it. The Black Panther's always wearing his armor, but you don't always see it because it's in the necklace. Maybe the Rhinos have something that's like that.
But then how do the Rhinos activate it?
I don't know. Vibranium.
But what I was gonna say, the kinetic energy thing. It's such a duh. After they said it, I was like, of course. Why don't you always have that? That's incredible.
Like that's an amazing idea.
Yeah. It's like of course.
If you have that technology, absolutely you have to use it.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, the freaking virtual reality. I can control things from here.
Yeah, the car. Yeah. I talked about that. That was awesome.
That was. Oh, okay. See, I thought you were talking about like the hologram things they were looking at.
The car was dope. Like it became out of sand, didn't it?
Yeah,
like the normal.
I assume
stuff.
that's
so does their
like everything's sand.
I'm assuming that's grains of vibranium. Not sand.
It looks like sand.
It does look like sand. And see that's just another point of like if either that is the catch-all vibranium explanation, or there has to be some other kind of science that they're using.
Yeah, but again, that's the mystery of vibranium.
What if they collaborated with Doctor Strange? Magic vibranium.
I feel like
the possibilities are endless.
Technically, in the cinematic universe, Doctor Strange doesn't use magic. It's technically just bending the rules of science.
In the movie universe, no, it's magic.
No, it's magic.
Did you watch Doctor Strange?
Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of a theory video I watched explaining all of the magic with science.
No, that's magic.
No, you're right.
It's a magic that comes from demons.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Which, by the way,
but I mean,
Doctor Strange is cool.
I don't know if Doctor Strange could really do anything with vibranium. Like,
I'm
Why
sure
not?
he could.
Because I mean, why would he?
Doctor Strange is the dark.
Like
Because-
just because he has magic doesn't like his isn't
That's like
Darkhold magic. It doesn't just do anything.
No, that's exactly what
That's
Doctor
exactly
Strange
what
can do.
Doctor Strange's magic does. Anything.
Have you read a Doctor Strange
it's
comic?
like-
That is
No, I've never read a Doctor Strange
entirely
comic.
fantasy.
It's like
it is entire
when
magic
when a
babble.
wizard comes across the magical item, the wizard uses the magical item. So if Doctor Strange comes across
Okay,
the vibranium, he's
to
going
put
to use
it
it.
to put it in another way, why would he? Because vibranium can do literally anything already.
Anything times anything equals awesome.
That's not how math works.
That's quick math.
Maybe
That's quick bad math.
Maybe Doctor Strange can use vibranium to make himself some not gross looking gloves like he had in Thor Ragnarok.
Yes, he absolutely should do that.
Oh my god, that was so bad, and it was only.
Can we do a podcast on how bad Doctor Strange's gloves are?
He should wear those gloves and Black
like-
Panther's sandals.
Like, were you baking a cake? Take off the fucking oven mitts.
The only reason they had him wear those was because he wears them in the comics,
Yeah.
and it was gross. They did not belong.
So look, they also used to have Wolverine wear spandex. It doesn't
If,
mean
they,
it's
yeah,
the
Which-
best
okay,
choice.
if he hadn't
Okay.
been wearing them though, that
Okay.
people would have been like,
Okay,
"Where's the gloves?"
So
Yeah,
this
gloves
was
in
the
them.
last thing I was going to
and
bring
then
up.
you explain to them because they're stupid looking.
We're running a little long, so I just wanted to pose this question before we just wrapped it up. Since X-Men are now can potentially be in the MCU, who would win, Black Panther or Wolverine? What wins, adamantium or vibranium?
I don't think we have enough information to say because vibranium is supposed to be like. Is vibranium supposed to be like the toughest material?
They say it's the strongest metal in the universe because adamantium wasn't allowed to exist in that universe. I think it's been addressed in the comics. I don't because I read up on it and I don't remember exactly what I read. Because that question has been posed, like Wolverine, like adamantium versus vibranium. I think Wolverine versus Captain America or something.
Okay, so
I think an even more interesting question.
But I don't remember what one.
So they've established that they can pass through metal detectors with vibranium and it doesn't set it off because my explanation of it is that vibranium is a different type of material than traditional metal, so metal detectors wouldn't see it or whatever.
It grows.
Vibranium's a plant.
I know, right? That's what the heart-shaped fruits were made of.
So my question is, introducing the X-Men into the Marvel Universe, can Magneto affect vibranium?
It's a metal, so
It's a metal, but
It's
it
a
doesn't
metal
have
that
the
doesn't
same
get picked up
properties
by
as
a
a
metal
regular
detector.
metal.
He may not be able to do anything with that.
well, I mean,
Is vibranium affected by magnetism?
Now, since adamantium clearly is, that could answer the question right there and say vibranium is better because adamantium clearly has the properties of normal metal, which means it doesn't absorb all attacks without vibrating.
well,
It would probably lose.
Well, back to the original question of Wolverine v Black Panther. I think I give it to Wolverine strictly because of the healing factor.
True. If Wolverine gets through the vibranium suit and everything, then he probably Black Panther would probably lose.
Well,
Assuming he can't get through the vibranium, then I think it just kind of becomes a stalemate until Wolverine gets to an opportunity where he can actually attack him.
You know what it might be? Adamantium might be harder, and vibranium is more what's the word?
tougher.
Not tougher. Like you can do more things with it.
It's more versatile.
Versatile.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, adamantium.
I think that's the deal. That's why vibranium can do all this stuff. Adamantium is just hard because once it's set, you can never do anything with it again.
But I think
vibranium can be like
I haven't read
molded.
I haven't read enough of the
changed.
comics to know if they've done anything else with adamantium. But
They make Captain America's shield.
I mean,
it
it's an
completely.
the only thing like I know that like.
Oh wait, hold on. That brings up another point. They've established that adamantium is like unbreakable. That
Once
it's been
hardened.
set, and they mixed vibranium and adamantium to make Captain America's shield. How the fuck is his shield broken in Infinity Wars?
Thanos.
That means that he can break adamantium too.
No, they don't have adamantium in the movies.
Oh, that's right. You said it was in the comic
Yeah,
universe.
it's in the
That's
comics.
right.
Because Thanos.
Yeah, in the comics, his shield is actually better than his shield.
Because
in the movie.
Infinity Stones.
But Captain America is better in the movies because he's actually enhanced. He's not enhanced in the comics.
Yeah.
He's
he
just
was.
really athletic.
No, I'm pretty sure he's enhanced.
No, he's just a human in peak physical condition.
I don't know about that.
I looked it up specifically.
Yeah, but I mean the argument between like who would win in the circumstance of adamantium versus vibranium, it depends entirely on what circumstance you're testing it against. Because like if we're testing toughness, then adamantium wins because it's unbreakable, while vibranium can be broken. If you're testing it via what you can do with the material, then vibranium wins because it has a lot more special properties than adamantium does. So it completely depends on like what are you testing it against. It's like diamond is the hardest material in the world. That doesn't mean that it's better than titanium, because titanium can't be broken, but diamond can.
Yeah. But
see, hardness is just the way you define your scratch resistance. Toughness is how you test durability. So titanium has better toughness, less hardness.
I think the claws would break through the suit, but vibranium's fucking magic.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I just thought it would be an interesting question. Y'all think about it and tell us what you think in the comments.
Yeah, tell us what you think of Black Panther.
Add us on Twitter.
Who would win, Wolverine versus Black Panther? Do you think that Magneto could affect vibranium? And how
you doing?
How the fuck do you explain all the crazy shit that vibranium does without just going Darkhold magic?
Also, how you guys doing today? Are you guys doing well?
Like, comment, subscribe.
Comment, subscribe.
We love you.
Love you. But last words on Black Panther. How do we feel?
I think it was a good movie.
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
That's fair. I'd give it an 8 out of 10.
I think I'd give it 8.5. Because like there's like I can pick at stuff about like Thor Ragnarok. Like there was a lot about Thor Ragnarok that didn't really sit well with me watching it analytically. But like watching Black Panther analytically, there was very little that I didn't like.
Yeah, it was very
Thor
solid.
Ragnarok was like 9.5 to me.
That's fair, absolutely. But at any rate, Black Panther's awesome. Go see it. Go give Marvel all your money so they can do all the things.
And of course, we'll see you guys again whenever some more Marvel stuff comes out. I think maybe an Ant-Man and Wasp.
We're definitely gonna
do
Infinity War. We gotta do Infinity War. Deadpool soon.
Yeah, Deadpool 2 coming out soon.
Yep.
We're all about the Marvel up here.
We are. Like this man's wearing like real ass Captain America.
Except they got a Superman shirt. Don't pay no attention to that.
Yeah. This is an audio show, no visual. All right, guys. Thanks for listening.
And have a great day.
Have a great day. Go see Black Panther.
Twice.
Do it again.
3 times a lady.
We're done.